Good afternoon, Hungries. It's Sunday afternoon. I'm making Sunday dinner. In fact, I'm making your request. Mutton juicy chops. There are 18 pieces of front mutton chop. It's going to be juicy. I'm most looking forward to those pieces of fat. I love fat. In fact, if you love fat, then mutton chops is the one for you. The best way to describe mutton is that mutton comes from a fully grown up sheep and lamb is a young sheep. Mutton is cheaper than lamb, but cooked well, mutton is so much more delicious. And yes, it does take a little bit longer to cook compared to lamb, but mutton is definitely so much more richer, gamier, and bolder once cooked. Let's start cooking. Each of these pieces have been washed and dried. Front chops have handles on them. In fact, my 9-year-old calls these love handles. If only he really knew what love handles were. Now, when I'm cooking my mutton chop, I really want a pan where I can bish bash pot and smack it about. So I'm going to use this heavily battered aluminium pot. So if anyone's thinking about camera-friendly presentation, I suggest you look elsewhere. This is my kitchen, not television. So here I have a 1/3 cup of oil going in. This is cold-pressed rapeseed oil. And into my hot oil, I'm adding 5 sliced onions. It's time to start bish bash boshing. I'm going to let that cook for about 15 minutes. And in the meantime, let's make my spicy garam masala. I've got a few dried red chillies, black peppercorns, green cardamom, cumin seeds, black cardamom, cloves, cinnamon sticks, bay leaf. Warm them through by slightly toasting. Give them a grind. And then you should be left with an aromatic garam masala. You smell so good. Kya khushboo hai. And after 15 minutes, you should be left with the most beautiful onions that look like this. In go the chops, 1 by 1, actually 2 by 2, because the animals in Noah's Ark went in 2 by 2. Hurrah! The animals went in 2 by 2. Hurrah! Hurrah! Give this whole thing a really good stir. You need lots of mussels. I just noticed my butcher put in a piece of back chop. This is what a back chop looks like. It's not something that we're fond of, but it'll do. Once all your chops turn from reddish to brownish, in goes your garlic and your ginger and that aromatic garam masala. And another stir. I am really struggling here. So I'm going to add a mug full of hot water and then just simmer it for an hour. Stew for an hour. I'm going to quickly make something really special. It will turn the chops into something from it's alright to oh my goodness, this is so fantastic. So in the middle you can see my special spice mix, the Hungry spice mix. It's available in mild and extra hot. Extra hot is our favorite, but because the kids are going to be having this, I'm going to be using the mild. These are available from our online shop, hungryhijabi.co.uk. For the next mix, you need a tablespoon of Hungry spice mix, a teaspoon of Kashmiri chili powder, also available on my website. It's really nice and vibrant. A tablespoon of pure mustard oil. I don't know who's spreading rumors and saying it's not edible. It's so edible. A dollop of sweet tomato paste, naga pickle. Oh my gosh, I forgot my kids are eating. Some ghee and some dried kasturi methi. That's fenugreek leaves to you. Feast your eyes on that. This paste is going to make the chop taste amazing. If there's one thing I didn't do today is I didn't add any yogurt. Sometimes I add yogurt, but Hungry Husband doesn't like the yogurt flavor. But if you do, it's time to add just a little bit right now. Okay, so it's been an hour. I'm going in ahead with some salt. I am such a ravenous hungry hijabi. I could quite easily bite into that chop. Look at that juicy chop. So you want to go ahead and add this delicious stuff. This is the stage when things start to really get spicy. So for the next 10 minutes, you need to slowly cook your spices so that they come together and develop a really good color and a really good flavor. It's like relationship and marriage. Give it some time to develop. Don't rush it, and it can turn into the most beautiful thing. During those 10 minutes, if you find that it's starting to burn or catch, just adding a little bit of water. You want to slowly build up your sauce. And after like 10 minutes, a really good curry should have let the oil separate. And the color is developing into something so beautiful, so gorgeous. The smell on this is so incredible. A good fragrance should usually indicate a really good curry. I'm going to keep quiet for a few seconds and let's just appreciate the sound of chops. So the last 15 minutes, I'm going to add just a little bit more water and let it simmer away. And no curry of mine would be complete without fresh coriander and some pierced green chilies. And today I am adding my favorite pickle tomato. You can use any kind of little tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes will do. So at the end of cooking time, I'm going to add all this in. And yes, I am using this as a garnish. The residual heat of the curry will cook the tomato, and those juicy tomatoes are going to suck up all that sauce. And when you bite into it, it's going to be like, oh This is the best chop curry I've ever had. Piccolo tomatoes are just so juicy. They are definitely my favourite. I don't know if you guys have been counting, but it's been a full 100 minutes. It's end of cooking time. Chop curry is ready. Earlier on, I reserved a little bit of that masala I made. I'm just going to dust a little on top. Honestly, guys, this has just turned out so good. I couldn't be any more happier. I know this doesn't happen often, but I'm actually quite speechless. This is hungryhijabi, most delicious, juicy, meaty, tasty chop curry. Choppylicious. I can't wait till dinner time. My son's gonna say, Mummy, I love these love handles. If you really enjoyed this recipe, definitely give it a like, a share, a comment, and blah, 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 blah. Until next time, this is hungryhijabi signing out.